It's June 21st, 2015, and we want to know, is issue number 1 too early to request a spin-off book for Mr. Biscuits?
Is Prez going to teach us the one weird trick to becoming president?
All this and more is coming up now. It's DCU Week 3 here at DCR.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's
Distress Citizens Radio.
Buongiorno, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the DCR. I, of course, remain your host, plague-ridden monster Sean Lamont.
You're doomed.
I am doomed. I was in this room, and they said there was, like, all these chemicals and stuff in it, and gave me a hazmat suit, but, man, it was so warm in that hazmat suit. What can I tell you?
Spoilers.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I have actually received word from our in-house DCR physician that I apparently possibly have walking pneumonia. So apologies, everyone. I'm dying. Sorry, but I'm trying to make sure we get the show going and get this thing done. I know it's going to sound like crap from my end.
You don't have the boogie woogie flu, do you?
I do not.
Okay.
I would be dancing right now. I'd be out of breath, honestly. I'd just be like, hey guys, here we are again.
See, I had calves fever with a slight case of LeBronchitis, but
Yeah.
it went away really quick.
Yeah, I heard that cleared up this week.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of it going around and cleared up right away.
Yep.
A quick trip to California and it's just gone. Blows it right out of the system.
There's the fresh air out there.
And I'm just electrified right now, so for real, I do have electric.
I haven't even introduced you guys yet. Joining me.
We're doing
as
bad
always,
podcasting here.
Mr. Brian Glein. Hello,
Hey there,
sir.
Sean.
And his lovely wife, the bubbly, effervescent, and not dying, Miss Kelly. Hello.
Not dying.
Well, you're dying.
Falling
just at a
apart,
slower
maybe.
rate.
Yeah,
Well,
we're all dying.
I was gonna say slowly falling apart. You know.
Yes, but not as quickly as myself. Apparently, I'm winning the charge, guys, by age and health. Woo! But what we do here is we talk about the comic books, most notably DC Comics, and their offerings and their brand new spanking shiny DCU line. Bye. But as such, so you guys are forewarned, there are spoilers. We're going to talk about things that happen in the books, plot beats, character lines, story developments, blah-zity, blah, blah, blah. So if you do not want these books spoiled, do not listen ahead to this particular episode. Now, remember, you two are going to be carrying the show pretty heavily today. I'm going to be trying to
I can't
keep my
lift
mouth
anything
shut.
though. I'm not supposed to lift anything.
I don't care. You're carrying this show.
I have doctor's orders not to.
Okay, Brian, I guess it's
anything.
on you.
As per usual, it's all on me.
Yeah, I hope that LeBronchitis is still on you because you're going to have to carry the show.
Oh,
So without any further ado, let us move forward into this week's books. Oh, God, it's me. I didn't realize I'm
and you've got the
starting off
long
show.
one.
Yeah. We're starting off this week's show with Justice League of America #1. And some of you are thinking, Justice League of America? What is this? We already have a Justice League book. What is this Justice League of America thing? To put it in simple terms, do you not like Darkseid Wars? Do you not like old gods, new gods, any types of gods? Well, guess what? We have another book that's coming out featuring the Big Seven of the Justice League that's not really mixed in with that whole Darkseid War that's going on over in the Justice League main title. So it's kind of
what type of screen is featured in this particular Justice League book?
Wide, ultra wide.
Ultra wide?
Ultra wide. I mean, it's as wide. I couldn't even, my arms were spread out all the way and I couldn't reach both sides of the book. That's how wide it is. It's ultra wide. But we're talking about the Big Seven. It's not the old Justice League of America team or anything like that. It's the regular Justice League, your main seven, Superman.
These are the characters you will see on licensed materials at Target.
Exactly. And with this one, we get kind of 3 stories going on in this initial issue, and I kind of split them off into little sub-separate groups here. The first one is Aquaman, who is at the United Nations, kindly telling all of the nations of the world to piss off. They're
not in my ocean.
Yes,
there's enough of that going on.
I'm really tired of that. But they are essentially saying, hey, Aquaman, you want to open up some trade agreements between us? And he's like, no, you guys don't have anything I want. Well, how about some scientific research packs? He's like, yeah, I'm like 50 years ahead of you guys technologically. I think I'm good. They're like, how about non-aggression packs? Ha ha ha. And he's like, no, I don't think my people are going to go for that either. So sorry, guys. Too bad, so sad. I know you're scared of my empire that is twice the size of all of your tiny little nations put together, but you just gotta take my word for it. We're not here to kill you. Ignore that whole time when my entire nation rose up and destroyed Baltimore.
It was just Baltimore.
It was just Baltimore. I think we can all agree that was okay. And they're like, yeah, it was Baltimore, so they let him go. But he does get word that there's someone waiting for him back in Atlantis, and he heads on back there. And I don't know if this is taking place in the future, the past, etc. Again, DCU, you plug it in where it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter where it fits in the timeline. But waiting for him there in the ruined city of Atlantis, it looks like it's been abandoned at this point, is a mysterious figure who tells him that the one true God is coming. Also, Winter. Winter is also coming, just in case you didn't know that.
I've heard tell that.
Now, elsewhere in Metropolis, Clark Kent, the Superman, as we all know him, this is kind of your full at his peak, not losing his powers Superman. So I know we've been talking about that in the last 2 episodes. The main Superman books have been detailing him losing his powers and becoming ultra dirt bike Batman, Superman hybrid guy now. But this time he's got his full powers. He's received an invite from a company called the Infinity Corporation. And as he can see using his X-ray vision, it's actually an invite for Superman addressed to Clark Kent. He's like, that's not good. So he shows up and meets a young lady by the name of Alexis, who kind of shows him around and goes, yeah, one of our chief scientists kind of wants to meet you, but he's over here in this room. And they open up the door to the room, and inside the room are these 2 giant glowing pylons. And in the middle of those 2 pylons is a pile of dead Supermen.
I have never seen so many dead Supermen in my life.
Well, other than that one
Darkseid has. Darkseid has. Superman, not so much.
No, he's looking at it, and he's just, his hands go right up to the sides of his head, like, what the hell is this? And he's introduced to the kid genius, the scientist that wanted to talk to him, by the name of Vincent, who is just kind of like, hey, how's it going, Superman? Give me 1 second. The stones of eternity, or stones of forever, are bringing through another Superman, and I think this one's actually alive. And he pulls through another Superman whose dying breath is basically to tell our Superman, don't trust him. And then he falls over dead. It kind of rolls over onto the pile just to be really convenient. Even in death, Superman, very kind to mankind, goes, oh, neat little pile of dead me's. I'll just roll over this way.
Give me a little push.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there's a blanket underneath me. I'm turning into a burrito. I don't want that.
So Superman demands some answers, rightfully so. Why do you have a room full of dead me's who say I should not trust you whatsoever? And he goes, whoa, there's Superman. And this Vincent kid is a complete D-bag. He is a jerk and a half, but he tells Superman, listen.
It seems pretty obvious that he would be.
Well, he's altruistic, I guess. He's trying to save the universe. He goes,
just doesn't have the social skill.
Yeah. He goes, Superman, you're going to die soon. And when you die, the entire universe is going to die with you. So here's what I need you to do. Don't do anything dangerous that may get you killed. He goes, but I'm Superman. I have to do that stuff. I'm on the Justice League. Look, I'm on lunchboxes. I have to go do this stuff. My merchandising will go to crap if I can't do any punchy stuff. And Vincent tells him, but yeah, if you do that, the universe will end if you get killed. So it's more than just you on the line here. It's all of existence. And we cut away because we're going to talk about the rest of the Justice League here, who also received invites from the Infinity Corporation, but instead of coming to their headquarters, it was to go to the nearby power plant. And they all show up, and they're kind of looking around at each other like, hey, this looks like a trap, doesn't it? They're like, yeah, it sure does seem like a trap. And Batman's like hiding off in the corner, just growling at his entire... It's like if you go to work at the office and you see all your coworkers doing stupid crap that's just going to make more work for you. That's what Batman is like. He's up there, he's like, oh, I hate these guys. Oh, why are they walking right into a trap? Here I am hiding around the corner to do reconnaissance, and they're all milling about eating cake and stuff. What are you doing, guys? And immediately he notices that there's a giant container that should not be there. And he jumps down and goes, guys, we gotta get out of here. It's a trap. Why would you all walk right into a trap? And that's when the container opens up, and inside is Parasite that was also delivered there by the Infinity Corporation.
Which McDonald character does he look like?
He does not at all. He looks like creepy,
somewhere like
lamprey.
Aaron Cooter Parasite.
Yes, he's much more lamprey, scary monster Parasite in this case. And I'm assuming this is the first time most of the Justice League has run across them, because they're all just like, oh, let's all grab him real quick, and that won't do anything. Surely he won't siphon off all of our powers. And even Batman screaming like, guys, come on, you're the worst. Because immediately Parasite sucks out all of Green Lantern's power, sucks off all the power of the Speed Force off of the Flash, and does all this stuff and just starts draining all the power from everyone.
Phrasing.
I know. I saw everyone's face as soon as I said it. But as soon as the ring gets drained, Green Lantern gets a couple shots in, but as soon as he goes unconscious and the ring is drained, it tries to teleport him away, and it ends up taking Barry with him as it tries to pull him off back to Oa to protect him from the battle. And it's like, well, that's a nifty little feature, but everyone else does not really seem fazed. They're like, hey, where's Green Lantern and Flash? Oh, they teleported away into a black hole thing. Whatever. We'll find them later. So luckily, Superman shows up after he got scolded at by Vincent, who was like, quit going off to fight things. I told you, don't put yourself in danger. But he heard about this whole thing, and he and Wonder Woman are able to fend off Parasite just long enough for Cyborg and Batman to use the power plant itself to siphon off Parasite's energy. And yay, they win the day. They imprison him. But now the entire team is pretty ticked off. They go, ooh, Infinity Corporation, we're gonna get you. And so Superman leads them off to where their headquarters is. But when they get there, they find out there's no building there. What? What is this?
The Infinity Corporation died 30 years ago.
No! But even more shocking, even more surprising, everyone is kind of taken away from that mystery when a giant metallic spacecraft kind of comes down from orbit and starts speaking to the entire planet saying, hey guys, I'm here, don't worry, everything's gonna be cool. And Superman's just staring at it, mouth agape like, oh my God, how can this be? It was a myth, it was a legend, it can't possibly be true. And Batman's going, what, who is this giant space floating thing? And it goes, I am the great god Rao, and I have come to save you all, as Superman's kind of bowing to it like, holy crap, my god's here. Sorry, I would have tidied up the planet if I knew you were coming there, great god Rao. Would you like some tea and crumpets or something? Kind of a big turn at the end there. Has Rao ever shown up?
I'm pretty sure no. I think he's just been a random exclamation that Superman and Supergirl have always said.
Yeah, I mean, we know that's like that's their deity on Krypton.
It worked so well for Starfire.
It did work out for Exal. Yeah. Exhale. Exhale. But again, it is ultra widescreen action. It's pretty big and fun. It had one or two stumble blocks in dialogue as it was coming in, but I think the storyline is big enough for me to overlook it. And it, even as the issue continued on, it was like a double-sized issue. So it kind of even picked up from its own stumbles as it moved on into the issue itself. It just felt a little clunky at first, and then I was like, okay, maybe I was just getting used to his style of writing. I don't think I've read anything of his before.
He's never. I don't think he's ever. I think this is his first time writing.
Is it?
He's primarily an artist.
Yes.
He was the artist of his biggest thing is the Ultimates.
Okay,
he did
gotcha. Well, if this is his first time out, then he did a really good job for a first time.
Yeah. And if he did, movie style Avengers, this is kind of movie style Justice League.
Yeah.
And
I guess I can see that.
at least, we don't have any of those terrible lines like, I do have a plan. Attack.
That's a line?
That's a line from the Avengers.
Okay.
As you watch Avengers over and over and over again, if you have a 6-year-old, there's some lines that stick out as really bad. Like, oh man, I did not notice that the first time.
We'll just, sweep that one under the rug. Look, everyone's jumping around on screen. Isn't that awesome?
Come on, RDJ, you're better than that.
But no, I was actually pretty surprised by it. I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew it was going to be another Justice League title just based off of the early leaks as far as what was going to be coming and who was going to be in it. I'm happy to see it is an alternative though for folks that may not be into the whole Dark Side War.
Yeah, it's not really heavy continuity stuff.
Yeah, the New God stuff is so heavy all the time where it's just like, okay, everyone is a symbol for something else and they're doing these things. And this one's just kind of like, hey.
They're punching stuff. You ever heard Superman talk about his God before? Look, he's there.
Yeah, there he is. He's right there. Isn't this awesome? And it's like, yeah, that is kind of cool.
Parasite, it's the entire Justice League beating him up.
I think that's a good idea to offer an alternative for a big title like this if you're going to go deep continuity in your main flagship title. So
some of my comics reading Facebook pals, they were just like, I don't read a lot of DC, but I'm going to try this one out because it seems like one of the easiest things is just dip your toe in.
Yeah, so. It is a walk-in book. It is most definitely a walk-in book. So check it out. I recommend it, honestly. So next up.
All right, moving on to Superman Wonder Woman number 18. I think this is one of our few continuing series we got this week.
Yeah, there weren't very many this week at all.
Yeah, so even with their new costumes, Superman and Wonder Woman are still an item. They still love each other, for now.
Although Wonder Woman keeps wearing all of his t-shirts in bed. I mean, that's his new costume now. You can't just go in there and just raid his costume. What's she going to do if he goes in and starts wearing the corset? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think she would get a little irate.
That'd be a little awkward.
Well, she obviously forgot her pajamas, so Superman just stayed in his pants, and he gave her his T-shirt. And they had a quiet night in bed, sharing a bed together.
Yes, I think they read stories to one another.
I'm pretty sure that's what was happening.
Yes, enjoyed some chamomile tea.
So they wake up, and Superman gets a call from Lana Lang. Someone broke into her house, like someone is currently breaking into her house and did something to steal. Oh,
she's not cold calling about any electrical engineer work that needs to be done?
No. So he's like, crap, Lana's my best friend. We got to go save her.
You remember Lana Lang, right, Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, his high school engineer. Girlfriend. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Wonder Woman flies Superman to Smallville, and Lana's missing. Her house is empty. It's like nothing happened. And Superman explains why she's so important to him, how she was his first girlfriend, how she helped him learn to cope with his powers.
I thought that was actually a great conversation.
How she's the best damn electrical engineer he's ever seen. How she would be a much better girlfriend than Wonder Woman, and he just can't bear to see anything happen to her. And Wonder Woman purses her lips together and just goes along with it.
That's what I would be doing too. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it starts off innocently enough where she's all like, oh, well, she obviously had a very profound part in your life.
She's like, I want to meet her. She's obviously very important to you.
And then by the end of it, I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to meet that bee.
No, it's an L. Two L's, actually. Poor lady.
Sure.
Yeah, so Lana's house looks completely untouched, even though something happened there. They check in with all these Smallville residents left over from the Ultra Humanite arc.
Yeah.
Isn't I see all those because Tomasi makes sure everything counts.
Everything counts.
The old wise men who remember Pepperidge Farm.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Say that maybe hey, Superman, a lot of this weird crap seems to happen because of you.
You realize we've been attacked by Doomsday, Ultra Humanite,
Brainiac. Could you just go away already?
It's been like a year.
We're kindly old men, but we're kind of through with it.
We like you. You're a nice kid. Don't get us wrong, but this city is really tiny, and it's been attacked by very big multiversal threats many, many times this year.
So Superman and Wonder Woman was like, oh yeah, and they also know who you are now, Clark, and they seem okay with you, so we'll just ditch these lame disguises, and they just go superhero around the city, and it's like, they have completely removed the entirety of Kent Farm off its foundation. There's just empty spots where there was. They go and they check the little, fallout shelter that paranoid old Grandpa Kent built.
I would love to see paranoid old Grandpa Kent now. Mm-hmm. But the way they describe the whole thing, where it's just like, yeah, we don't talk about crazy old Grandpa Kent.
And I love the fact that Wonder Woman's like, oh, him and your father from Krypton would have gotten along so well because they like to survive. It's like,
well, yeah, I guess.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
See, that would have been the better story if crazy Grandpa Kent tried to shoot Clark back off the planet because he thought it was going to be destroyed in nuclear war.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I built a giant slingshot, put baby Clark in there. We're going to shoot him off.
Yep. So, anyway, they checked the bomb shelter because that would have been one of the places where would have been one of the last places where Lana could have been hiding. She's not there. And then he realized, I was like, oh crap, people are trying to wipe out every single bit of proof that I even existed on this planet. So he goes off to a cemetery and finds that every single Kent grave has been desecrated. And it's just like, geez, why does this keep happening? Literally, my last big storyline, Smallville, the same exact thing happened.
Well, no, I mean, Ultra Humanite made puppets out of his dead parents.
Yes.
I mean, that's completely different.
A little bit more flair behind that one, to be perfectly honest. But in this case,
maybe whoever it is this time is going to weekend at Bernie's with the dead Kents and just be like, "Oh, look, it's Ma Kent, and she's waving at me."
Well,
and Pa Kent's water skiing.
Well, I could see at least one of his attackers doing this because it turns out that it's because the Suicide Squad has been sent to take out Clark Kent by who we're assuming is the Calculator.
Yes, so it looks like so. Yay, Calculator!
A calculator?
A gigantic sentient calculator. It's a guy who's sort of like the, I don't know, he's sort of like the head of the temp agency of supervillains.
Yeah, kind of.
He's like a supervillain who just does all of his work behind a computer, and he sends off other supervillains to organize them into grander schemes.
So Sinestro's like, hey, I need some henchmen. He'll call up Calculator and be like, hey, do you have any like C-list, D-list supervillains? And
very expendable.
Blop, blorp, and then he summons him up and says, okay, go meet Sinestro over here, and takes a little cut of the pay off of it.
Wow.
So that's kind of his job. I like him. He's a behind-the-scenes guy. He was a dark mirror to Oracle.
Yeah, back when Batgirl was she was wheelchair bound, she was sort of like the hero version of that.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Huh?
It's very nice. Considering the 8-page preview did not give me much faith in this. Didn't really, but this is just
kind of an in media res type thing.
It's like this is obviously something that's going to be happening later, but this is just like, we are continuing the storyline as we have before.
Yeah,
and it's just Tomasi and
just everything counts.
Monkey doing stuff, at their usual level of
really
excellence.
Great about his everything counts though is it's not critical to the story itself, though.
Yes, it's more just like nice set dressing.
Yeah, so like if you've been reading the story, you go, "Oh, look, it's all my old friends from over here," and "Oh, look, they're coming along."
Or if you're coming into it cold, just like, I wonder who those characters are. It's like, they've shown up in other storylines. Oh, I'm not sure how many people care about the Pepperidge Farm gentlemen,
Pepperidge Farms, remember?
We enjoy when they show up.
Yep. So I thought it was good. I thought he did a really good job. Another one that did a really good job. I'm going to do Wonder Woman number 41 by the Finches, Meredith and David Finch?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Lots and lots of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was putting her here up at the front because we had a couple books with her.
Ease people in with the familiar, and then we're going to go completely off the reservation later.
Yes, we go way off into the middle of nowhere here really soon. So I'm just getting some of the more, pop culture friendly stuff out there in the front of the show. You guys remember what happened in that whole annual, not but like 2 weeks ago, where she defeated Donna Troy, who had gone off and murdered all the Manazons, and she's like, no, that's bad Donna Troy, spritzed her with the water bottle, and then went, okay.
If you keep spritzing me with that water bottle, I'm made out of clay, I'm going to become very unsolid.
Yes, I'm going to get very droopy very quickly. Well, in this one, in number 41, she's heading off to Olympus, where she has imprisoned Donna Troy to atone and or recover from the upbringing that Darren gave her. Because remember, it was Darren that kind of filled her head with the poison and was like, all males are evil, hate them, they all must die. And after Diana had the conversation with her and tied her up in the lasso of truth, she realizes, hey, maybe they're not all evil?
Not all
Hashtag
of them.
Not all men? I don't know.
Not all guys are evil. Just most of them.
Just a good number of us. So,
but I feel the same way about girls too. So
that is true. We're all inherently evil.
Yeah.
So I mean, who you kidding?
Yeah.
just really did not care for penises.
No, not at all. I was trying to avoid the word all episode. But Donna Troy is royally ticked off, mostly with herself for actually being duped into this whole thing, and doesn't believe that there's any way that she can redeem herself and make herself look good to the rest of the Amazons and the rest of the world in general after leading a group of Amazons to slaughter all of the male Amazons. So it's kind of a sad scene where she's kind of full of self-pity, but Diana believes in her and is like, you're going to get through this. Don't worry. We'll get you to the other side and you can be a contributing member of society again. But while she's there, Diana goes, well, I'm going to swing by the Olympus pool and see who's hanging out there. And so she kind of flies on over to the swimming pool on Olympus, the big old beach patio that they got, and chilling out on the layabout chairs is Zeke and Zola. And she goes, hey, how are my two favorite people?
Hey, the baby's back.
Yep, little baby Zeke is there, and Zola's there, and Zola's telling her, like, yeah, everyone's kind of running around doing God stuff, but, I mean, they're not mean to us, but it just seems like everyone's really busy, so it's just kind of the two of us. We just hang out all the time at the pool. I mean, it's not the worst life, really, but it's a little boring sometimes. And it's actually really cute because Hera shows up as well, and Hera's been kind of like aloofly watching the two of them, and she's still friends with them, but, you know, I'm on the Mount Olympus now. I'm a queen of the gods. I can't, you know, just hang out with these mere mortals, even if the baby is baby Zeus, baby Zeke, but whatever.
Yeah.
There's actually a really cute scene where she's saying about how, well, it seems like baby Zeke's just hanging out with all the lovely ladies, and I'm sorry, Hera's staring at the little baby like, yeah, Zeus always did have a thing for a pretty face. And just kind of like dagger eyes at the little baby, but then she's like, but this is a new baby. I'm not going to take it out on the baby.
I'll give you some tummy farts.
Yeah. It's a cute little scene. So while she's also there, she swings by the shop of Hephaestus, where the other rogue Amazons that killed the Manazons have been sent to work in the place of their slaughtered brothers. And I was like, that's kind of actually a really neat thing. And Hephaestus is trying to teach them all to, you know, oh, well, I will smelt away all of the poison and evil within you by my fires. You work my forge. Eventually you figure out, you know.
Yes, Hephaestus. I've heard that he who smelt it also dealt it.
Get out. Back to Amazon Island with you. But she leads him, or he leads her down into the fitting room because he just got done reforging her new set of armor, and it's kind of this full body thing. It's actually pretty slick looking. We don't get to see the arm blades that are built into it, and without that, it looks really, really good. But she gives a whole speech about how she's been
she was wearing that in Superman and Wonder Woman too.
Yeah, she's been rocking the bodice look ever since she was a teenage girl when she originally left the island. She's like, now I'm a Justice League member, I'm a queen, I'm a god. Should probably dress like the job I have at the very least and dress like the woman I am instead of the girl I was. And it's like, okay, I can see that, why you would go with like the full body armor type thing. It actually looks pretty good.
I like that. I like that she has pants.
Oh, whoa. We're not allowed to say the words Wonder Woman and pants in the same sentence.
I like that she has pants.
It has internet issues. The internet does not like those two words together.
Fine. She has opaque leggings.
Opaque leggings. Yes. There you go. Good job, Cal. Yes. Good job, Cal. Got to find that way around it. But she does not get to admire her new duds for long because she returns home to hear that there is a kid out on a nearby bridge who is threatening to blow himself up and the bridge with a bomb unless he gets to meet Wonder Woman. Grumble, grumble, grumble. And she goes, well, I better go
I asked her out to prom on Twitter and she didn't respond.
My promposal is blowing up this bridge until she comes to my prom. Man, Wonder Woman. So she shows up and goes, hey, kid, what's the deal here? Why are you threatening to blow up a bridge and yourself just to meet me? And as soon as she walks up to him, he turns around and he's like, ha-ha, sucker punch, and punches her in the face. And she's like, oh, okay, you're like a 17-year-old kid. Why did you just punch me in the face? He's like, ha-ha, hoo-hoo, hee-hee. And he's like punching her in the sides and kicking her shin. And she just can't bring herself to beat up this 17-year-old kid. So she's just like, I don't know what to do here, to be honest. And he's like, ha ha, ho 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 ho, and then he just kind of jumps off to the side and swims away because he's just disgusted at how horrible God of War she is because he's trying to provoke her into a fight and she's just standing there like, kid, I'm not going to punch your head off. I mean, come on. So the kid returns home to his underground basement lair that I assume he has. And in the middle of the basement is this green flame that's flickering and there's a voice coming out of it. And he comes in and goes, she is the God of War. That lady that wouldn't even throw a punch against me. Come on. She does not deserve to have that power. And a voice comes out from the flame, goes, oh, you mean to take it from her? I can help you if you like. All you have to say is that's what you want to have happen. And he goes, yes, that's exactly what I want to have happen. And it goes, well, you will need the tools to do so. And spewing out from the...
I've already got my copy of Call of Duty, man. Come on.
Yeah!
Cod blops, man.
But dip potato chip. Come on, Wonder Woman.
What?
Never mind.
I got so much flack when I was teaching for not liking Call of Duty.
No, that's fine. You're allowed. But out spilling from the fire are the weapons that this flame is giving the kid, and it's a Pegasus along with Orion's golden bow and arrows, and he's all like, awesome! And he's gonna jump on it, and I guess, not modern warfare it across there, and try to take out Wonder Woman so he can become the God of War. It's an interesting start. Honestly, there's a lot.
Which Orion?
What's
not
that?
Our Orion.
Not our Orion, like the
Greek Orion.
Greek Orion. Yeah. It's like his bow.
So confusing.
No, a lot of traction online. This part, ever since the Finches took over after Azzarello and Chang, which is like a monumental run that they did. I think most people agree they really did an awesome job. When the Finches took over, there's been kind of a lukewarm response. At first, it wasn't very happy. It's been kind of winning people over recently. The annual a couple weeks ago, started to get a couple people over. This one seems to have gotten a lot more traction when people read this one. I think it was much like you were saying with Tomasi, how he pulls in all the stuff, but it's not really necessary to the story, but it's how they do their getting out all of the story facts they need is by bringing in old characters and doing stuff like that. So all of your stuff is done and you get everything out, but it's covered up by the fact that you're like, hey, old friends, how's it going? Yeah. No, it worked out really, really well. Wonder Woman felt very much like all three roles at the same time, the hero, the god, as well as the queen. And it's her still trying to find that balance between the three. And I think it's starting to find its path in between all those. And
I'm glad that her last supporting cast is still sticking around, because one of Wonder Woman's big problems is the fact that they are always changing her supporting cast.
Yeah, I've heard that with her foes as well, where it's either Cersei or Cheetah. And if it's not one of those two, it's Dr. Psycho, and everyone just goes, yeah, go away, Dr. Psycho. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's really good. I really enjoyed it. I've been kind of a fan of this one since like maybe the second or third issue of their run when I figured out where they were going with it. I think it's doing a good job of pulling from, it's really a continuation of the story from Azzarello and Chang's run. It's just adding on a couple layers from some of the other books as well. So check it out if that's your thing. If not, that is cool as well. Next up.
All right, continuing on to Robin, Son of Batman, number 1.
Some of our new books here.
Yep. Robin is Damian Wayne. He's Batman's son.
Hi, Damian.
Hey, Damian.
How's it going, buddy?
This is before he's dead.
No, this is after he's dead and he's come back to life.
Yes.
I guess you weren't here for that when Batman went to hell itself and pulled him out.
No, I was not here for that.
He also did that in Apocalypse, yes.
Yeah, he donned his Hellbat armor and flew down there and was like, give me my kid back, and then flew away. It was pretty cool.
So he was literally getting out of there like a bat out of hell.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
I think wasn't that the title of the...
It was actually. It was
story,
in fact the title of the issues.
Yep.
So I don't remember that at all. So
proceed. Damian is back. He came back to life just in time for his dad to die. He came back. Kelly is modeling the Damian mask we got from the comic shop. Or maybe if you're wearing it, it's the Carrie Kelly mask. I don't know.
But it keeps catching on my eyelashes, so I need to take it off.
Oh, well. So one day, we come in. Robin gets forced to take a day off because his dad told him to. So when he's just chilling there with Titus, he gets an emergency distress call from Ravi, his past life Alfred.
Yes.
Letting him know that someone has stolen Goliath from his Robin cave back on Raj Al Ghul Island.
Oh, how annoying.
Yeah. So he goes to his potentially haunted old headquarters from his previous life when he's being trained to head the League of Assassins and gets his little bat skull whistle to free Goliath from some ludicrous member of the Bialian High Society who stole him for his menagerie.
Yeah, like every other Tuesday. This is how it happens.
Yes. Apparently, before Damien was, started hanging out with his dad, he had a pet werebat, a gigantic, shaggy, red, bat thing.
Yes, but not a man.
Yes,
bat.
Everyone keeps saying it's like the borderline no hedonism bot type guy from Biala is just like, oh, I've always wanted a man bat for my collection. Damien's just like, it's not a man bat. I'm going to punch you in the face.
Everyone hates man bats. This is not a man bat.
Yeah. So he blows his little bat whistle, lets Goliath break free from his chains, hold on for one more day, etc., etc. So Goliath flies him home after he punches out the dork, and he looks back at his vault filled with all of the trophies from the Year of Blood, where Raish and Talia al Ghul were training him to be a killing machine.
Yes, and every day he had to go murder different people or do some horrible, horrible thing to prove how far he was willing to go to lead the League of Assassins to victory.
Yeah,
so he has a vault full of trophies of kills.
Who? Damien?
Damien, yes.
Damien, before Talia kept him away from his dad for a very long time. And when he first met his dad, he was a real jerk and did not want anything to do with him because he had been raised to be an assassin. And then hanging out with Batman and his dad, who was actually a good person, slowly turned him back to the side of good.
Oh.
See?
Yes.
The more you know. Do.
Yes, so...
I just thought that, he was off at school or something.
Well, it was. It was assassin school.
Well,
Yes.
I thought he was off at boarding school or something.
Yeah,
and,
assassin boarding school.
Well, I didn't know he was going to assassin school. I thought that he was just at boarding school.
It was
or
the family business. I mean, someone had to take over after Grandpa passed.
Mm-hmm. And then came back to life. And then passed again. And then came back to life again. And then passed again.
It's very awkward, the whole lineage thing in the Al Ghul family.
Sounds like it.
So he's going to try to atone for each of the murders because he's really scared of trying to live up to being Batman and also going to hell. Which in the DC universe is a very real thing you can go to, and he has already been there. He did not care for it much.
No, I thought that was actually kind of a surprising twist, where it was him having the nightmare of what it was like when he was dead, and he's in hell with. Is that supposed to be Trigon or something?
I don't know. It's just some demon.
Beelzebub. Was he going to cut his hair? I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
He's just in hell itself, and he's like, this is not cool. If only there were some soul birds here to save me.
Yep. So he's going to return the trophies and right his wrongs, just like on the TV show he watches when no one is at home, My Name is Earl.
Yes.
He pretends he's watching The Wire. He's really watching My Name is Earl.
You're not fooling anyone, Damien.
Nope. So Goliath, who might be... Honestly, he almost acts like a big dog, like a big man-bat dog.
Kind of.
To a certain extent. So he's the guy's like a dog that got infected with the Langstrom virus or something. He's always collecting animals. That's like his most kid-like thing. So
yeah, he even trips over Batcat or whatever it is earlier in the issue.
Goliath kind of suggests we should, and he's like motioning to this, we should return the Guardian statue first. Okay. And then meanwhile, off in Panda Narbot, his mother Talia, who has lost her memory after returning from the dead, gets confronted by something called the Leun Darga, which has the Guardian symbol on its hand, and it drags her down into a pit.
Oh, well, yeah.
So maybe if he returns that thing, she'll not be in the pit.
And he might run into his mom.
And also there's the granddaughter of the guy that trained Batman.
I was going to say, just because it didn't fit in with the rest of the storytelling. Yeah. Also in this issue, we find out that another one of Damien's bad deeds, which was killing a character named Nobody. Nobody's daughter.
So I was right. Woo.
Yeah. So Nobody's daughter. He's got a pretty distinctive mask. So Nobody's daughter has found his old mask and tech at the bottom of the Gotham Harbor, and she's going to kill Damien for killing her father.
Yep. That
Or
was
they're gonna fall in love.
Probably both.
And Maps is gonna be very disappointed.
No.
She's not gonna understand why she's disappointed. But
No. Unless nobody's daughter is Emiko, no. In which case, this whole thing is about to get really awkward. Again, I'm loving the premise of it, and that was the biggest thing that I was worried about was what are they going to do for a premise? Because I was afraid it was going to be like I don't need you anymore, Pops. I'm going on my own or something like that. Or, you're dead, Pops. I'm going to go over here now, which wouldn't really match with them either. I was trying to figure out what they were going to do to get him out on his own and doing his own thing. And I think the atonement trip is actually a pretty good idea to
kind of clean up his backstory a bit.
not even just clean it up, but also explore some of the things he had to go through.
What was he doing in that weird nebulous sort of 5-year period where he grew
5 to 10 year period? No, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good premise. I don't know how the supporting cast will work unless the daughter of nobody hopefully joins his cast. I mean, Ravi isn't exactly the best conversationalist, and Goliath
doesn't talk.
Is going to get old pretty quickly, I think, if that's all it is.
He does look awesome.
Yes, he does. Very much so. I just don't think he can be the only sounding board supporting character for too long.
Yeah. It's basically like How to Train Your Man-Bat. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And adorable.
That's honestly a great way to sum it up right there. How to Train Your Man-Bat.
You got a show title.
So next up, I have Sinestro number 12, or as the internet is calling him, Smugnestro. I think that is a great title for this one as well. They should just call it that instead, because Sinestro is a bit of a D-bag. Just a little bit. He knows
so he's
best.
Steph Curry.
What's that?
So he's Steph Curry.
Sure.
A little bit of a smug team.
Always chewing on his mouth guard.
Oh, he's doing that. That's what he does. And it's to the point now where he's like, Sornik's standing there talking to him. He's like, she's telling him, hey, Sinestro, someone's betrayed you. And he's like, yeah, it's going to suck to be them once I find out who it is. Doop-a-doop-doop-doop-doo. Well, they've rigged new core guard to explode. And he's like, yeah, that's kind of annoying. Shouldn't we evacuate everyone? Nah, I'll stop it before it blows up. Let me finish my sandwich and watch my show first, and then I'll take care of it, though. And Sornik's going, dude, quit being such a smug asshole. Come on, man. The whole reason we're doing this is to get the Korrigarians to safety. Your ego cannot be the reason everyone possibly dies in this explosion. He's like, what do you know? You're my daughter. Go do something else. I'll take care of this whole thing. And she has decided she's going to betray him and evacuate the Korrigarians on her own. But God, I'm here for them. I'm not here for Sinestro. I'm here to help the Korrigarians. That's why I'm the only Green Lantern amongst all of the Sinestro Corps members. So she sneaks onto War World, and because she wants to steal a ship from there so she can fly everyone to safety. And while she's going in there, she sees the Sinestro Corps members are planting a seed, I guess you could say. It's a bit of the floating sentient city of ranks that they are incorporating into War World itself so that War World will become a giant sentient thing.
How many times are you going to say War World?
War World. I haven't said it once yet. I keep saying War World.
No, you did say it once correctly.
So I guess we are going to have a counter Mogo here, and it's going to be War World. But she looks at it and goes, well, that's kind of odd, but that's not why I'm here. And she goes to steal an escape craft, but is confronted by Sinestro.
That's what Sinestro calls it.
Yeah, sure he does. And Sinestro's like, hey, Sornik, are you betraying me? And she's like, yes, I'm betraying you. I'm so sick of your condescending crap. I'm only here to save the Korrigarians. And she goes full on rage mode against Sinestro. So tired of him being smug all the time. And even as they're fighting, it's just Sinestro making fun of her the entire time. Like, oh, is my little girl gonna try to punch me in the face? Oh, isn't she so cute? Isn't she so cute? And she's even destroying the ship that she was trying to steal to save the Korrigarians in her efforts to hurt him. And he's like, oh, well, look, you just broke your own spaceship. Now what are you gonna do? And finally she just goes into a rage, but Sinestro just goes, this is This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. And he just kind of punches her down into orbit, down to the ground below, and rips off her Green Lantern ring and replaces it with a Sinestro Corps ring that goes, "You have the ability to instill great fear." And Sinestro smugly, of course, goes, "Well, not yet, but soon. Soon you'll have that ability." And that's where it ends, with him turning Sornik into one of his Sinestro Corps members instead of a Green Lantern. But even as he said before, you don't understand why I'm doing this. Eventually you will. It is to save your life and protect you from what's going to happen to the Green Lantern Corps. Because something bad's going to happen to them. Ooh. That was supposed to be released this week, I think, but got pushed to next week. So
okay.
We'll find that out next week. Ooh.
Weren't they smushing all the books and compressing them into less books?
Yeah, it's only 3 Green Lantern books. So
they're getting rid of the Green Lantern.
It was like 5.
Yes, and now we're down to 3.
So they're getting rid of the book that you would have been in. Woo! So I'm keeping you in a book, keeping you relevant.
And now you're over here.
All right,
but it's fun. Again, it's that smug nature of Sinestro that's just really fun to read. It's so compelling because you love to hate him. Because he's just such a jerk, and you're like, oh, but he's always right every single time, and you're like,
All right, so we are moving on to Black Canary number 1.
Rockin' and rollin'.
Spinning out of the pages of Batgirl.
Hey, no stealing my spinning out of the pages. I invented that.
Sure you did. All right. So, Black Canary is the most dangerous band on the planet, according to Tantu Labiche of the Burnside Tofu zine.
Okay.
Which is the most hipster thing I've ever said in my life.
Yes, it is. For those with good taste.
Mm-hmm. Since Dinah Lance, when we last saw her, she had been singing for the Burnside band Ashes Before Sunday, but is now taking over singing duties on Black Canary, an all-girl rock group whose shows almost always end in getting attacked by mercenaries, ninjas, guys in pinstripe pants, you name it.
I have to be curious, though. Was the band called Black Canary before she joined? And
yeah.
She just saw it, was like, well, that's just a sign. That's the band I'm supposed to be with.
Is she like the singer? Because it's like, would she be canary crying like her audience? You know?
No, she would not canary cry her audience. That would be rude.
I'm just saying.
The synth player does say that she's like continuously destroying their sound equipment with her screaming. It's like, no, that's my singing, not my super powered screaming. No. So
I'd kick her out of the band because she was too expensive.
Yeah. Well, so the band consists of Dinah, who is now going by Dee drummer
Dinah Drake.
Okay,
that's her actual name. Now that she's not married anymore.
Okay, she went back to her original.
Yep.
Gotcha. I've only ever known her as Lance.
Oh,
from back in the day, even.
Yep.
So, drummer Lord Byron, who is a lady,
which is awesome.
Paloma Terrific is on synths, and Silent Child Prodigy Ditto on guitar. And also joining the band is their new roadie, Heathcliff, who just graduated from Gotham Academy, thus freeing himself from dating Pommeline Fritsch.
Oh, man. Could have had a great future ahead of you there, Heathcliff. Could have had a great future. Might have lived in an alleyway and had just fish bones on top of a garbage can lid, but it would have been a great life. I'm telling you.
I was going to say that his superpower is that he could eat a whole fish and then just pull out a fish skeleton. Beat me to it.
The theme song and everything.
Yep. So, Dee Dee is surrounded by controversy. No one knows about her past, but rumors are creeping up about why she knows how to fight so well. When the band gets attacked, that she used to be married. She's like, how did you even know that? So her band is frustrated that they have to keep losing money paying for wrecked venues, etc., etc. They're also very worried about how Ditto doesn't talk, but man, she plays a mean guitar.
Yeah.
Also very
she
good.
She makes all those wah 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 noises without the pedal stuff.
Yeah, she full on Frampton. Ditto comes alive.
She actually isn't even playing the guitar. She's just like wah 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 wah.
At first, they thought she was a Charlie Brown teacher, but then they ruled that out.
But her fingers are moving. It must be the guitar.
Yeah. We also learned that Dee Dee has only signed a contract for this tour, and she has to finish it to get all of her money so she can rebuild her dojo because she is living out an 80s action movie. She also promised her father she would never do hamster-style kung fu anymore.
No, never again.
Never again.
Not after that horrible incident that one day.
Yeah. And through all the turmoil, as we saw in the preview, they're being pursued by creepy people in suits with opaque white glasses. So at their show that night, no fights go on. It seems like they're actually going to finish the whole show when Ditto starts "Do You Feel Like We Doing?" and the wah-wah-wahs send out like pulse waves that reveal that the people in suits are actually black shadow nightmare monsters.
Oh, well, yeah, like that happened every time I saw Frampton.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
Well-
like, oh god, black nightmare monsters.
There might have been something else causing that.
Oh,
But,
you think so?
secondhand, you might have been picking something up, and it wasn't the wah-wahs.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the wah-wah
Okay.
that was doing it.
So, Black Canary does not make it through a whole show. An awesome fight scene breaks out. Dee Dee uses her microphone like Gogo Yubari uses her ball and chain thing. It's great. And it turns out that the nightmare monsters were after Ditto, not Dinah, which is sort of what they were leading you to believe the whole time. So they stop them for now, but they've got to protect Ditto. They're her only family. So
They want her to play their Black Shadow Monster Nightmare Bar Mitzvah. Mm-hmm. And they're like, come to hell and play our Bar Mitzvah.
Yes. So that means only one thing. Dinah's got to train her band in hand-to-hand combat.
Of course. This
and
is the
they're-
solution.
And they're going to move on to weapons later. They're going to become the literal most dangerous band on the planet.
Are they going to have a montage?
Oh, I hope they have a
you
montage.
would have to have a montage.
They have to have a montage.
You would have to.
Oh,
But
man.
if it turns out that these shadow monster things start infiltrating other bands, and that's what gets us to the band battles,
Yeah.
like literal style, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
I'm totally with
that.
Yeah, it's Brendan Fletcher continuing his new weird quarter of Gotham books, spinning out of your Gotham Academy and your Batgirl.
This is the one out of all the ones we've covered so far. This is the title that kind of encapsulates what a lot of the rest of them are as well. The really focusing in on a tone or style and saying,
Yeah.
I'm going whole hog in this direction.
Yes.
Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to hate it.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is I'm doing this. If you like it though, you are going to protect it with your life. That really is what we're getting right now with the DCU.
The style of this is fantastic.
Yes.
It's Annie Wu from Hawkeye,
Yes.
the backup artist on Hawkeye.
And if you want to see fascinating stuff, follow her on Twitter where she's doing the trying to find the inspirations for all of the characters that she's creating.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll put like collages of 5 different people or styles or stuff like that. And she's like, I need to make an amalgamation of these 5 things. And then like 2-3 days later, you'll see like a ta-da finished product of those 5 things
man,
amalgamated
that's cool.
together.
I did not know she was that active on Twitter because back when she was like still in college or something, I followed her art blog when she was like doing like Parks and Rec fan art and stuff.
Sure.
And just drawing pictures of, cool fake rock bands. Like, this is tailored to her.
No kidding.
Like, she is so good. I mean, I posted on Tumblr. She did just for like some random, drawing forum challenge. She did like a Rock and Roll Justice League. It's on the Tumblr right now.
Yeah.
It's super awesome.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to complain about the art whatsoever.
No,
in this.
no.
I don't think that's really going to be the issue. I think the story and the tone and the character work are going to be the things that either you're going to love it, or you're going to be kind of lukewarm to it, or you're going to hate it. And
But you're not going to miss it. That was the most stylish cover on the stands this week.
Yes, very much so. But I think the main thing you're getting right now with the DCU is the fact that you will get diehard fan bases for books. It may not be everyone, but the people you do get will do anything to get that next issue. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that pays out. I'm hoping it does because I'm honestly a big fan of these different styles. not all of them are aimed at me. Not all of them I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. This is exactly what I want.
But they shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't. And I can see the markets that they are aiming for and why other people would absolutely adore it, even if it's not really my cup of tea. So it's kind of like hopefully they hook people. You'll get like your different camps of readers that really like this particular style or this particular tone of book. And then they'll have something for everyone at least. So yeah. That's what I say. I'm psyched. I'm pumped now. Now I'm actually dying now, but but I don't take my weak and grumbly tones as me not being excited for these books, because I actually was really jazzed with this week by the end of it. Brian, even when we were splitting up the books, after we had done the split, we finished our reading, and he's going, I feel like I just got away with like robbery because all of my books are pretty awesome. And I'm like, hey, mine were good too.
I checked out a couple of years. I'm like, oh, you got some good. I was not expecting that on a lot of these.
It was just a solid week overall. So let's continue that after a little bit of a break. So what do you have coming up for round 2, Brian?
I've got Doomed, Secret Six, and Prez. And I have Martian Manhunter continuing our stream of surprises for this week. Yeah.
Severe surprise for me there. Harley Quinn and Power Girl number 1.
Not that surprising, to be perfectly honest.
What's that?
Not that surprising.
Martian
there.
Manhunter?
No, Harley Quinn and Power Girl.
No, not that surprising at all.
About what you're going to expect with that one.
About what you're going to expect. And Dr. Fate number 1 to continue our block of number 1s here in the second half. So hold on a couple seconds. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go through those books. I can't even do like an actual sheep thing. I'm so dead to the world. I'm just a shell of a man. Shell. But we are back, and we're going to talk about some surprises here in the second half of the episode. Chief among them, at least for myself, Martian Manhunter number 1. And I'm going to be frank, Sean, whatever.
Yeah.
Right here up at the front. I was intrigued by a Martian Manhunter solo title, but my hopes weren't that high, just to be completely honest. It's just a character that I was like, okay, maybe they could do something kind of cool with him, but I think Martian Manhunter as a superhero just off doing superhero things wasn't really gonna, scratch an itch that I had. I had no itch for Martian Manhunter by himself. And then I read this issue, and it's a lot different than what I was walking into expecting, because what we deal with here is John Jones. Kelly, you know who Martian Manhunter is, right?
Yes.
You know where he's from?
Mars.
Yeah, very good. Do you know what he does for a hobby?
Martian-y things.
Well, he hunts men. You could have just gone with...
he eats Oreos.
He does eat Oreos or Chacos.
He eats
Let's
Chacos.
not get sued here. He eats Chacos. Also, that is apparently Martian smack. It's Martian heroin. It's not really just chocolate. We found that out in a very disturbing little thing during Convergence that we were
No. It's Chacos. It is chocolate cookies with, vanilla cream. It's not allowed to be drugs.
No, it's actually to the Martian system. It's heroin. So he was actually addicted to the cookies because it was like a space drug to him.
Well, I guess
which took a lot of the cuteness of the whole thing right on out of it.
I mean, I could say that I'm addicted to cookies too. I mean,
he's in a support group.
Yeah.
I am.
The cookie crank.
It's run by the Girl Scouts, so it just ruins everything.
Do they have Cookie Crisp?
Yeah, I mean, me and Cookie Monster,
You know it. You gotta eat those veggies now. Gotta eat those veggies. But John Jones is not a chocoholic right now. This is not your chocoholic cutesy Martian Manhunter. Because when we're introduced to him here, he goes, everything you know about me is a lie that I carefully cultivated. You all think, oh, poor John Jones. He came from Mars because all of his people died, and he's just, all so alone, and he's just trying to fit in with the people here on Earth. that's not entirely true. I'm actually a living weapon that was sent here from Mars to infiltrate the planet and prepare it for conquering. Whoops, did I forget to put that on my resume? My bad. My bad, guys. I totally thought I put that on there.
I have been saying that I'm a manhunter for quite some time.
Quite a bit. You are mostly men. Superman, you're out of this. Even though you are Superman, you're technically not human. But regardless, hey, sorry, I am actually a living weapon sent from Mars to conquer the planet. But it does seem still like he legitimately wants to help the people of Earth. Maybe that's why he was sent. Those things have changed because, as we see here, a passenger plane, the engines go out on it, and John Jones flies in to save the day, and he's like, oh, all the people are scared. So he puts all the passengers to sleep, which I thought was a nice little character touch as far as, they're all suffering and afraid. Everyone fall asleep. Look at my watch as I turn it back and forth. You're getting sleepy. And everyone falls asleep. And then he turns into giant dragon monster roar John Jones and just picks up the plane and flies it to safety and sets it down. But that kind of puts a little bit of strain on his system. So he's just like passed out next to the plane. And as he's coming to, the passengers are getting off and this little kid runs up like, oh, Martian Manhunter, you saved us. But because it was such a strain from the shape-shifting, when the kid runs up, he's all like melty face and like, hey, little kid. And the kid's like, oh my God, and just runs off screaming in terror. And he's like, guess I wasn't done baking yet. So, I'm good now. I'm good. Everything's fine. But meanwhile, terrorist acts are going off simultaneously across the planet. Like, literally at the exact same time, all across the planet, all of these horrible things are occurring. And we're looking at the news as it's reporting all these things, and John Jones is narrating, saying, those stories that you cannot believe, that are just so horrific that you just cannot believe that a human being was capable of it. Yeah, that's usually because it's not a human being, it's another alien or a Martian that's been infiltrating your society. We've been doing it for quite some time. He. And, they're actually causing all of these horrific nightmare things to occur. And as he's telling this story, we're kind of cutting around throughout all of the world where we see like a little kid who is paraplegic that all of a sudden murdered his mom and then is causing explosions to happen. And, a newscaster on like Fox News is all saying these bitter things. And then it's just like, oh no, his eyes are glowing red. He must be an alien too. But we also head over to Dubai where this cat burglar named Pearl is waiting for this prince or whatever to leave his opulent apartment so she can rob him blind. And she's just sitting at the window like, go, leave, go to the store, go do something, I want to rob you, go away. But while she's waiting, all of a sudden the doorbell rings and in walks this guy in a suit. And she's like, more people, everyone leave. And then the guy in the suit turns into a giant white monster thing that just rips the head off of the prince and throws it against the window, covering the entire window in blood. And she's just like, holy crap, what the heck just happened? And she's like listening at the window, trying to hear what's going on in there. And in an absolutely horrific scene, just the white Martian or the I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah. If it's Martian Manhunter, it's probably a white Martian.
Well, yes, but it just smears away the blood with its hand, and all you see is its eyes just kind of like blaring through the blood-cased window, just staring right at her, and she's like, oh my God, and just runs away for her life. And probably a good sign.
Which is not a good thing to be doing that high up on the building.
It doesn't matter. It's a good choice at that point.
That's Tom Cruise high. That's Mission Impossible high.
Very much so. Very much so. But this entire story is bookended by a much more important story.
Mm-hmm.
The story of a character by the name of Mr. Biscuits. And Mr. Biscuits, and hey, this story, I don't know if it's a flashback, a flash forward, or if it's happening at the same time. So I don't know if this is like the aftermath of whatever happens in this whole Martian Manhunter thing, what he did when he first got here, or if it's a totally separate character that's happening at the same time. It's this green guy wearing like a Victorian hobo outfit, or old school hobo, like the black and white shoes and the tails, and has a cane, and he's wearing a sign. He looks kind of like a grasshopper.
Yeah, he's got like a white, like, sock mask on.
Yeah,
almost.
just covering up most of it, except it's got like the holes in the side, so his eyes are coming out of it. So he looks really weird. He looks really, really weird, but he's sitting in this chair sleeping with a sign around his neck that just says, only wake in case of emergency. And all of the neighborhood kids are like, oh my God, who is this Mr. Biscuits? We gotta know. So one little girl finally gets brave enough and goes in with a little bag in her hand, and he wakes up and he's all like, just kind of like making noises. And she goes, no, I brought biscuits. I brought you biscuits. And, whoever Mr. Biscuits is, I'm assuming it's John Jones at some point in his timeline, but it could very well not be. He's like, oh, you're good people. So he pulls a quarter out from behind the little girl's ear to pay her for the biscuits. And the kids kind of go skipping off like, yay, we helped Mr. Biscuits. And then he just kind of shoves the chocolate biscuits in his face and just goes, biscuits. And that's it.
He's a cookie monster.
He is a cookie monster. He likes those biscuits. Maybe he's a British cookie monster.
Yes, exactly.
British cookie monster. Chap. Oi, oi, oi. But again, it was really
it'd be, oh, hello, biscuits.
No, not at all. But it was actually really interesting. I was like, oh my goodness, this is fun. This is interesting. This has my
It's
my
an interesting Martian Manhunter story.
Yes, and I wasn't expecting that. Maybe my bar was a little lower than it should have been. I don't think I've read anything by Williams is the one doing this, I believe. Rob Williams, I think his name is. But yeah, I had not read any of his stuff prior, so I was just, okay, well, we'll see what he does. I was giving it a fair shot, and it turned out really good. So I actually recommend checking this one out if you're into, I'm trying to think of a good story comparison.
X-Files?
Maybe. That would actually probably be a good fit. It is kind of an X-Files
It's a little on the
vibe.
nose, but I could, that's what I kind of went to.
No, I can see that. I can see that very much so. So next up.
All right, next up is Doomed. Number 1.
Hi kids, I Dr. Doomsday. Do you have bone spikes growing where you did not have bone spikes before? Do you constantly run across Superman whenever your stories intertwine? Whenever you see beautiful women, do you turn into raging monster? If so, you going through Doombirdie. It's okay.
How can I top that? So, we open with the concept that our main character, Riser, who only has one name, like Kramer or Charday.
Or Charday.
He has turned into this red, spiky monster who can think like a human, but can only talk in roars and grunts. I'm sure that will not lead to any misunderstandings later on.
None whatsoever.
It must be
Maybe he should get together with Damien's pet.
Oh,
thing.
there we go.
There we go.
A
Team up.
doomed, what's his name?
A doomed Goliath
yes.
team up. Yeah.
Just the title of the book is Grarar.
Yep. Question mark, exclamation point. So it must be the first time it's happening because when he sees his reflection for the first time, he freaks out. So we flash back and find out that Riser is a college freshman who just started his first day as an intern at Star Labs in Metropolis.
And surely nothing will go wrong.
No.
Star Labs known for their impeccable security measures.
Yes. So all the interns get a tour of how crazy the place is, from the grumpiest scientist humanly possible. It's like, here's our matter converter. Here's our atom smasher. Here's our portal to a multiversal speed force.
If you look through this window, you can see the entire universe.
Here's a Tyrannosaurus Rex in a straitjacket.
Yeah, what was up with that?
So boring.
Really, because the arms are the scariest part of the Tyrannosaurus Rex,
right?
that you really want to keep those tied up.
Mm-hmm. He gets paired off with a fellow intern, Jane, for graveyard shift cleanup duty, and Jane is annoyed that she has to work with Riser, who's just super excited, super positive, to the point where he's maybe a little bit annoying to some of his compatriots. So before the night shift starts, he goes back home, and we meet his supporting cast, who all live next door to Clark Kent in Metropolis.
Yes.
So Riser's roommates, Roman Deep V and fashionably homeless-looking guy interview potential new roommates who all get rejected, one of which is Scott Lobdell, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yes.
The writer of the book. Afterwards, Riser goes and lets the pretty girl with glasses and purple hair named Clarice, who got rejected for no real good reason compared to everyone else, to be perfectly honest, I
think she said she was just writing a book, so she didn't really have steady income.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, I could see that. Yeah. So, see, she would have been quiet. That's all I would have cared about. If you pay the rent, you're quiet. That's good with me. So he's like, he just lets her know that he would have liked her to be his roommate, and she's all feelings mutual. Yeah. So, we also meet his crazy Aunt Belle and her yippy dog Wee Wee, who she is just one of those daffy old ladies who would forget to shop for herself if Reiser didn't do it for her.
And let's not forget that Wee Wee is his mortal enemy.
Yes.
That is his arch nemesis.
A little yippy dog, yes.
I hope that continues through this book.
Yes.
Where
I have an arch nemesis who's a yippy dog, too.
Really?
Oh, yes.
That we do.
That we do.
Is his name Wee Wee?
No.
Nope.
No.
No, indeed.
No.
So later at Graveyard Shift, Reiser is so nice that he dons a Back to the Future containment suit and offers to scrub down the clean room by himself so Jane doesn't have to. So after hours and hours of scrubbing down the clean room, he opens up his helmet to get some fresh air in a room that's been infected by a biohazard. Whoops.
So, I mean, he seemed like a pretty bright kid up to this point.
Yeah.
He was very, science was like a big thing for him.
He's always wanted to work at Stars Labs his entire life.
Not a good first day.
No.
Not making a good first impression.
Oh crap. So, after his shift, he runs into, he immediately puts it back on. No one sees him do it. So after his shift, he runs into Clarice, who has found a new apartment to live in. Let me show you. So, she's squatting in some fancy LexCorp, model luxury apartments, and she invites him in to get comfortable. So, hey, why don't you come tell me about your day in this fancy shower? And, he gets a little too excited, turns into a spiky red rock monster and melts a riser-shaped hole through the floors below him, and I assume wakes up in the subway graveyard that he woke up in at the beginning of the issue.
Doomberty. We all had to go through it.
I know.
We all had to go through it. It's such a pain.
The most awkward times.
I sincerely hope that's how he turns into this super doom monster. Because every time he gets aroused, that's what does it. So he has to carry around, I don't know, like an iPad with internet access or something. Just quickly swipe through a couple pictures real quick. I think it's a good book.
Or he has to think about dead puppies, to keep it under control.
Whoa!
To keep it under control.
I'm not thinking about dead puppies at that point.
It's baseball or something. A lot harder in the summer.
Yeah. Jeez, dead puppies? I don't want to just break you off into tears when I'm not trying to get a hard on.
Jeez.
Because then what happens if it doesn't work? Huh? What are you stuck with then? Then you're just worried about yourself the entire time. You're like, oh my God, that doesn't work. Oh shit.
Well, I can't say anything else after that. Carry on, Sean.
I don't know how boys work.
Dead puppies are not how they work. I will tell you that much. But you know who does know how boys work? A man by the name of Vartox.
Oh, God,
he
no.
knows how boys work.
No, that's why these are one after another. Oh, no.
We got next up Harley Quinn and Power Girl #1, which is kind of filling in the space between two panels in Harley Quinn #12, where they were fighting off against Clock King and Sportsmaster in the mall, and they had gotten their hands on these teleportation rings and just kept kind of throwing them over top of Power Girl and Harley Quinn and casting them off into different dimensions and places in space and time. And during one of those things, that's what this little mini-series is going to tell us about. The time when Harley Quinn and Power Girl went to the planet of Vartox to meet Vartox. And, it doesn't go very well. And Brian, immediately, page 1, panel 1, Mr. Mind is waiting for them on the other end of that portal like, yes, sentient life is coming through. Now is my chance to affix to them and just leave and conquer worlds. And Harley Quinn vomits on him immediately after coming out of the portal. And that's the end of Mr. Mind. We do not see him again. But I do know you like Mr. Mind,
I do.
so I at least wanted to mention he was there.
It wasn't giant multiversal.
No, it was
just
tiny little
tiny
worm
wearing
Mr.
glasses.
Mind. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, with a little voice box.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he was there. So after that, they are immediately accosted by a sexy time Yoda Hobbit hybrid who's kind
How
of
does
like,
that? I know what those words mean, but when you put them all together,
he's kind of a half naked hobbit, but he lives in a hovel next to the swamp like Yoda and trains people and stuff. But he's kind of like, hey, you are the sexy and I am the here. He should like do like they do in Doomed and turn me into a giant red rock monster. What say you? And they're kind of like, no, not interested. Actually, Harley's making all hobbits' jokes the entire time about how he's tricksted us, and it's actually kind of humorous. And when they refuse, he sicks his giant multi-headed hydra on them.
Is that what he's calling it?
No, an actual like hydra comes up out of the swamp, and yes, let's keep it PG because it's Power Girl. It's PG.
oh yes, Power Girl is very PG.
Very PG. They call her that. PG all the time.
Just like Harley Quinn, it's also PG.
Yes, 13 most of the time. But it immediately eats Power Girl, and Harley's actually scolding it and trying to give it a Heimlich maneuver on one of its heads. It's actually kind of cute. And finally, as Power Girl is breaking free, Harley runs into the sexy Hobbit Yoda hybrid's house and finds a giant mech power armor thing that she decides to don and just comes out and shoots missiles and goes all tank girl on it and kills it. And then the two of them continue on where they find a giant robot head that immediately recognizes Power Girl. Oh, yes, you have returned. Great Lord Vartox will be so happy to see you once more. Come into the ship. We must fly you over to him. And they get in there and they fly over and they're like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. What's going on here? It looks like there's stuff all over the place, like fires and wars happening. And that's when the robot tells them, oh, yes, Vartox has been captured by Oreth Odiox, who is like the decency censor of the universe, who flies around and basically censors things that are too dirty and not politically correct. And Vartox is a huge red strike when it comes to decency. Because we're going to talk about him later. Maybe not this week, but soon we'll talk about Vartox. He is basically Borat of the universe, kind of. We make with the sexy time. But this guy has come in to censor all of the horrible things that are happening on his home world. And as they fly over towards the Capitol, they end up getting shot down, and both Power Girl and Harley Quinn step out, where they meet the troops and their leader, not Oreth Odiox, but the general of this particular group, who walks up with a little checkbox and is looking at Power Girl going, too much cleavage, no undergarments, long sleeves but no pants? That's just gauche, but whatever. Obviously, you are both prostitutes. And Harley shoots him in the face and kills him, leading Power Girl to be like, I thought we talked about this. No murdering people for just saying mean things. That's not how we do it. But he called us prostitutes, and he was talking about Clothyroxian toes, and I'm pretty sure I know what that was. So the argument is stopped when a groovy fellow by the name of Groovicus Mello walks up and with his fro and goes,
Who
hey!
names these people?
What's that?
Who names these people?
Well,
These are probably all pre-existing characters based on how things have been going in Harley Quinn.
A 60s love planet is the entire point of this thing. And he walks up and immediately recognizes Power Girl, goes, it's you! The one who mothered us all! You have returned to save your offspring! So, Brian.
Yes?
Now, from what we have talked about with Vartox before, back when we did this original issue, there was something that happened on his planet where all of the people were rendered sterile, except for Vartox, and he was looking for the proper person to repopulate his planet with, and decided Power Girl would be that person back in the old continuity, correct?
Maybe?
Well, in this now, at least, it seems he was successful in that endeavor because this entire planet is populated by the offspring of Power Girl and Vartox.
Wouldn't she remember that?
Well, that's what we get to because immediately Power Girl goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now, we've all seen some crazy stuff recently. We have been introduced to the multiverse. I know all about it. I'm from Earth 2. I'm from the last of my kind from another multiverse. I'm just telling you, that was not me. That was clearly a different Power Girl that you met before that fathered or mothered all of you. Not me. Totally not paying any support payments or anything like that. We're just here for a teleportation ring to get out of here. And, of course, Groovicus Mello goes, it's okay, baby. I know where one's at. Vartox has one. He can hook you up. He's always willing to hook up his fine mama. And she goes, fine, whatever. Where is Vartox? Oh, well, he's not here. He got captured by that Orithodiax guy. Yeah, he's over on the Lust Moon of Lustox. You can see it over there, right there. If you head up there, you could probably get him to get you the ring, though. I believe he is enslaved, though, so you'll probably have to free him as well. But before you do that, by the way, all of Odiox's armies are coming now, so what are you gonna do? I guess you're gonna have to defend us anyway, because here they come, and that's where it ends. And I was like, okay, this is weird. This is kind of weird. It's kind of what you expect with the Harley book, but the most fun I had with the Harley Quinn titles was when she was teamed up with Power Girl, so I quite enjoyed this one.
All right.
It's amusing and fun, and them against the censors of space, considering the two characters that they are, kind of a fitting thing, especially with Vartox there.
Vartox,
the sleaziest of sleaze.
The roofie that walked as a man. Yes. Did you say that they cast a Vartox for the Supergirl series?
They did cast a Vartox for the Supergirl series.
Oh, I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see, I suppose.
PG, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, you know what? I'm throwing an audible. When we're talking about all the censorship, we are going to go off and do Secret Six number 3.
You can't do that.
Yes,
I
can.
Just call it audible.
Yes, I can. Because the cover of this is a gigantic censor symbol as Big Shot walks in on, let's just call it a key party going on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So,
I would ask what a key party is, but I think that's probably not PG.
It's PG-ish.
Yeah.
The premise is PG.
The swinging 60s.
Is Groovicus Mello there?
Maybe.
Awesome.
All right, so after the interminably long wait since issue 2, we come in on the Secret Six, who have taken up residence in suburbia to lay low and hide from the Mockingbird, who kind of put them all together in the first place. And lay with a lot of other things as well, apparently, because they're now living in Big Shot's house, and he has a nose for things. And, well, he knows that someone had weird sex on his couch last night.
So who was it?
Right after the neighborhood block party. Who did it? So Catman raises his hand, Strix raises her hand, and Porcelain raises her hand. Ventriloquist and Ferdy both raise their hands, and Big Shot puts his hands in his head and just goes, and it's like, that's it.
I'm buying a new couch.
I'm buying a new couch. So he goes upstairs and bonds with a teenager, Black Alice, because he lost his wife and she lost her parents, so they form a cute little father-daughter bond as he looks after her. So, a bunch of supervillains don't fit into suburbia very well.
No, not at all.
No.
Surprisingly.
Yes.
You would think that's where they would go.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, Porcelain shatters the bones of some workout dork that hit on her. Catman made enemies with a police officer who beats up his pit bull. Ferdy should not be left alone with a television set. Oh
no. I don't
I have no idea.
That's really I think that's selling it more than what it was.
Well,
it's like, this show sucks, and it was just sitting there.
I think he just gets hypnotized by the television. The weird, sentient, living ventriloquist doll with drills in his hands. So after Catman gets all suited up and assaults the guy that beat up his dog, and the rest of the team comes to help, they bond and come together as a team.
Aww.
Yeah, so after everyone else goes to bed, a Big Shot goes upstairs and has a secret communication with the Mockingbird, who is revealed as the Riddler.
That's surprising.
And the Riddler is very pleased that you defected from your team, Big Shot. Or should I say Ralph Dibny? Or should I say the Elongated Man? What?
That I did not see coming at all.
No. And then when I went back to go and do all the notes, like, there's clues.
Yeah.
So many clues.
Yeah, I know. I've got a nose for this stuff.
Oh yeah, my wife, she was my most favorite thing in the world, but she died.
Yeah. It really was kind of. So that means you're not going to get any Ralph and Sue at all in the new 52, it seems.
No, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
man.
I don't know. It is sort of one of those things where you have to be very aware of the back continuity to be able to appreciate it.
Yeah.
It is not
yeah.
a new thing. It's sort of like, I've been seeing commercials for the new Vacation, and it seems like the entire premise of that movie is, hey, remember that joke from the first movie? We're going to do it a little bit differently.
Uh-oh,
yeah. So, that's...
Watch out.
I'm getting a few...
This ain't your grandpapa's vacation.
Mm-hmm. So I'm getting a little bit of that vibe, but at the same time, Gail Simone is the queen of characterization, and I love watching the characters interact with each other.
Yeah, I would say if I didn't know the ending there, like if I didn't know those characters, this would have came across as a pretty quiet issue.
Yeah, just kind of turn your head to the side like, I know who the Riddler is.
Well, that's just it. I think the Riddler would have been the big reveal for me at that point, but since I did actually know who Ralph Dibny was, I was like, I didn't see that coming at all. So, hey, good job.
Yeah.
Good job, honestly. Especially with the amount of clues hidden throughout it so far.
It's like, oh man,
slapping you across the face with it practically.
She's just giggling as she's typing on her keyboard.
Okay, now you're just being smug. Go over there with Sinestro. Get over there with Sinestro. Well, see, now how do I transition? I don't have a transition to Dr. Fate from Secret Six. I had one for Prez.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fairly easy, but
All right.
No, now I have to figure out how to go. You know how we're going to segue? I'm doing Dr. Fate, number 1 now.
Sounds good.
That's a craptacular segue. Not anywhere near as good as my Vartok segue. That was a good one. My first thing before we even start this book whatsoever, read that preview thing first, that 8-page preview, because this is pretty much page 9 is where this picks up. You don't get an introduction to the characters again. They just show up and they do things. And
I do like how the little blurb at the bottom pretty much says, you should do that. I mean, hey, if you don't, just enjoy the ride and figure it out as you go along.
But you really should go back and read that.
It's free.
It's basically those 8 pages are your introduction, or your introduction to Khalid and his parents and his girlfriend and who the Egyptian gods are and why they're at odds with one another. It's kind of the fill you in thing. But real quick, the Egyptian pantheon are at war on Earth, and Anubis is just being a real jerk. Not trying to start up a market at all. Trying to flood the Earth, honestly, in this case.
So he can grow the crops to sell at his market.
That's what it is. And he's just kind of cackling as he's watching New York City flood. But Bastet, I believe is how you pronounce that, is working to save the humans. And she tracks down Khalid and offers him the helm of the Naboo. You must accept your fate, medical student Khalid. Someday you'll be a doctor that accepts his fate, Khalid. Club. But the only rational response and the correct one given by Khalid is, aye, as he runs off into the night because a cat is talking to him and making a helmet float in front of his face. And he goes, yeah, that was a good plan. That was the right idea. And he starts texting his girlfriend about how, I think I got slipped some drugs. This is not cool. I am having a bad trip. And she's like, don't joke about that. We're about to finish med school. If this got out, it would ruin your career. Bad Khalid. So he's making his way back home, about to take the subway, when a little girl falls down onto the tracks. And he goes, well, guess I'll save her real quick. So he just kind of hops on down there, and he helps her back up onto the platform. But before he can climb up, here comes the train. Toot toot. I don't think subways go toot toot.
No.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure everyone I've read did not go toot toot. Not even once. It was very, very depressing. I was hoping for at least one toot.
Yeah.
But it comes, and right before it hits him, time stops, and he's like, that's not right, but I think I'm still on drugs. And Bastet shows back up and offers him the helm once more, because you, Khalid, are the last of the line of pharaohs, and we need you to protect the humans. You must accept your fate. Future Doctor, you must accept your fate. But when he does put it on, he starts seeing the world differently. His voice goes all Yu-Gi-Oh! Where all of a sudden he's just like squeaky, and then it's like, rah, 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 rah. And he's like, my voice sounds very deep and weird. It does not match my body whatsoever.
Why do I have the voice of a 50-year-old adult male when I'm drawn like I'm 12?
This is not correct at all. And the voice actually responds back and goes, "That's because you're not you. You're me now. You're a fate of doctors, doctorish fate type thing. I don't know. I'm sure you'll figure something out of a name." And then it flies off and shows him some of its powers. And as he is struggling to figure out what the heck is going on, his father, though, is in a much more immediate peril because as his father is forced to drive a taxi after they came back over from Egypt, his medical practicing license does not work here in the States. So he is driving the taxi and his current fare leads him off the beaten path where his cab gets into an accident and then the fare menacingly stands over him like, "Mwahaha, maybe you should have never left Egypt. Now your soul is mine." So I'm assuming that's going to be another one of the Egyptian pantheon or maybe something from their past, a little more mundane that has caught up. This book, the art style is really, really interesting to me. I actually dig it. A lot of people I talked to were on the other side of that fence. It just wasn't their style whatsoever. I think it's something you have to get acclimated to, but once you do, I think it worked really, really well for what they were doing with this book. It's kind of a surrealistic approach.
And he draws very cartoony, but he also can go towards the more macabre as necessary.
Exactly. And it was walking that line, and I thought it worked out fairly well, but I think it is an acquired taste, maybe, or at least you have to give it the chance. If you just skim it real quick, it's not going to work for you more than likely. It may not.
Yeah.
But when you match it up with the story that's actually being told, I think it worked out really, really well myself.
Is this Paul Levitz?
Yes.
Of Phantom Stranger fame?
Yes, he is.
Household pets as deities is the weirdest writing tick I have ever seen.
He loves it.
It's very specific.
Loves it. No, I enjoyed it, though. I think Dave Mateus was doing Phantom Stranger with the
oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
The puppy, though.
Okay, you're right.
But I'm just saying, he still likes it.
Yes, he does.
Still likes it. So wrap up the show for me,
I'm
Brian.
wrapping a show up. Saving the best for last. It's Prez #1. Completely out of continuity.
It could be in continuity.
It could be in continuity.
Future.
It's the year 2026, 21 years in the future.
Thank you. I was trying to do the math and my head's all fuzzy from medicine, and I was like, carry the one.
And the current sitting president is stepping down from re-election because he has opened up a personal ad on funboys.com under the handle The Pexecutioner.
Yeah, The Pexecutioner.
So it's only a week left to go, and the powerful senatorial group known as the Colonels are trying to decide who they should have run for president, but it's borderline impossible thanks to the social media pasts of everyone to try to find a clean candidate.
Yep, which is really, really prescient of how this is going to play out in the very, very near future.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
This is a very, as ludicrous and satirical it is, there's something scarily possible about everything that happens in this.
Yes.
We learn more about the current state of the nation on a news chat show hosted by a pretty blonde lady, Amber Waves, as a colonel debates presidential candidate Tom Downey about food stamps. The colonel gives the flashy, easy answer, which is to provide the poor with taco drones.
Taco drone!
Which provide the poor with free tacos and free taco drone merchandise to wear, essentially turning the poor into walking billboards.
But they get... What is the trough? The
taco trough, the chicken tour, I believe, was the weird, hybrid fried chicken thing. So we find out in real-time graphics that the public likes this idea, and when Downey tries to question it, he gets asked do you even like fun, sir? And he starts, waffling and loses even more approval points in the process. It's, again, very...
This man hates Taco Tuesday!
Yeah. So in an effort to get the youth vote and win Ohio, the only way to win the presidency...
God, it sucks to be in the States sometimes.
Downey then goes on ultra-popular Puppy Slaps YouTube channel, where he is forced to give his presidential campaign speech while being slapped in the ass with a paddle by a teenager wearing a pig mask.
Yep.
Oh my God. Terrifying.
What?
Terrifying.
Because he has more views than national television. So if he's going to get his message out there, he has to go out on the YouTube channel of some jackass in Ohio, in Akron of all places.
Yeah.
The AK! Represent.
Yep. So, We also see the hit TV show Double Dare Billionaire, where contestants have to compete in some kind of crazy Running Man Ninja Warrior obstacle course to become billionaires. It's co-hosted by the Colonel's presidential candidate, old white man Gary Farmer.
If it was actually like Double Dare that, we watched when we were younger.
More firearms.
You see.
Yeah, I would have liked it better if it was like the Double Dare, that.
Yeah,
we
there's
watched.
there's no ringer, there's no gigantic nose that you pick through.
No pancake that you have to try to find a flag in.
Nope. So we see the first person to complete this issue, or to complete this game show, this task, as Felipe Alvarez makes it to the last challenge, which is to shoot yourself with a gun somewhere other than your hands and feet. And so he shoots himself in the leg, and anything can happen in America. Felipe, you're the new billionaire. You finally have enough money to bring your family to America. What courage. Oh, and people at home are like, why aren't you trying as hard as that young man to be a billionaire?
Yep.
And it's just like, oh my goodness.
That's why they're poor. They're just not trying hard enough.
Yep.
They're not shooting themselves in the leg.
Yep. So, and as we go to the back, we see the next contestant has to get bumped because they didn't think that anyone would ever actually finish this thing.
Yes.
And that contestant is Beth Ross. So earlier in the issue, we saw that Beth Ross was recording a safety video for her corn dog place and accidentally dips her hair in the deep fryer and immediately realizes that her coworkers are going to put it on the internet. And it goes viral.
Yep. So she is now known as Corn Dog Girl.
Yep. Beth is very sparse in this issue, but what we find is that she's a very hard worker who is doing everything in her power to try to save her dad, who is dying of some kind of unidentified influenza. The only way he can be cured is by nanotherapy, which his insurance does not cover. So she's going to find a way to get money for him no matter what. That's why she works at her job. She's tried starting a Kickstarter campaign to pay for his surgery. Dark.
Yeah.
So dark.
Yeah.
She's trying so hard, and she's very likable, even with her minimal participation. So, on election night, voter turnout is at an all-time low, even with the ability to vote via Twitter, because the candidates are just terrible, and no one knows anything about them. So, in a protest campaign, hacker group Anonymous gets Corn Dog Girl on the ballot. So, thanks to a last-second endorsement from the Puppy Slaps YouTube channel, Beth accidentally takes Ohio, throwing off the electoral votes and causing no one to win the election.
Yep.
The election goes to the House of Representatives, and Congress will get to decide the president on a state-by-state basis.
Who are all very irate because they have already paid their money for their person they wanted to win.
Yeah, so we close at a shadowy corporate cabal where every CEO in America, their face is obscured by a hologram of their respective company's logo, including our favorite Pharmaduke the medicine dog.
Yep.
And they're freaking out and arguing about how their respective candidates need to win so their companies will get all the appropriate tax cuts and whatnot. And their leader, a terrifying man whose logo is so bright it obscures his face entirely, the new boss Smiley, tells them to calm down because he has a plan. They can let the teenager win, and they can do whatever they want. This was so freaking good.
Yes, it really, really was. But again, complete embracing of the you're going to either like this book or you're going to hate the living hell out of this book.
But this is such a fully realized world. I mean, they did such an amazing job.
But the political leanings of the book are very
well,
evident.
yes.
And I think if you walk into it and those are not your political beliefs, you're immediately going to feel like, oh, it's that type of thing. And I think it's really smartly done.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. I mean, it doesn't really pick any sides. It's just sort of saying, "Hey, this is where we're headed if we're not careful."
It
leans. It does lean,
so.
but yeah. But
maybe it leans the way that you lean, and that's why you don't think that it leans anywhere.
Well, yes, I suppose so.
Yes.
Entirely possible.
It's actually pretty blatant which way it's
well,
leaning,
yes.
So
I'm aware.
That's what I'm saying. If that's not your political beliefs, if that's like what you base your life off of and what you can actually enjoy as your political beliefs, good for you. I mean, that's not really what affects me
So
at
I
the
would
end of the
hate
day.
the book, is what you're saying, because I have the exact opposite political beliefs as you.
Uh-oh, it's wartime. It's election season here in DCR, and it's going to be chaos.
Just call me the James Carville of the DCR.
Are you the Raging Cajun of DCR?
I am the Raging Cajun.
Oh, my goodness.
I say. So, yeah.
But no, I think it's really smart. I think it's good. I'm hoping, just for the sake of parody, that they get something on the other end of the spectrum as well, or at least a character that embraces that. Hawkman's available. I'm just throwing it out there. I know that was kind of his thing for the longest time, was he was the right-leaning member of the
JSA,
yeah, of the JSA for a while. I'm sure he had other people on that side with him. Who else was there? Come on, help me out here, Brian. You're staring off into nowhere.
It was pretty much Green Arrow and Hawkman fighting each other all the time, and everyone just saying, I'm staying out of this.
What about Reaganomics Man? Is he in
Reaganomics,
there?
man. No Reaganomics.
What about Papa Midnight? He's all about the voodoo economics.
He
Come
is
on.
about the voodoo.
Come on.
Something DOO economics. Yes. Trickle down Terry never really showed up.
No. Okay, well, I'm hoping they get something on the opposite end of the spectrum as well,
Yeah.
because I think that's only fair. I understand creative people mostly lean to the left, but at the same time, if you're going to do that, if you're going to say it's DCU, something for everyone, when it comes to something like politics, I think you should have both sides of it as well.
Yes.
That's
But-
me. That's just
yeah.
me. Obviously,
But yes.
I don't run a business, so I got no say in this.
Yep. Ben Caldwell, probably the best thing I've ever seen him do. Everything is very, very tight. It looks great. It looks amazing.
Yep.
Just the tiniest little touches, from all the holograms everywhere to the fact that because it's the future, no one has chains and everyone's earrings and necklaces just sort of float in their
Yep.
appropriate places. It's very, very amusing. Even everyone's like haircuts, like they don't look outrageous, but they still certainly look futuristic.
Yeah, it looks
It's-
like 20 years has passed.
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's not an easy task to do something like that.
No,
And
you're stabbing into the dark, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can kind of go anywhere as long as it's just got a touchstone to the present day, kind of.
But it's not
like
a- but
people
it's not
wearing
a- but-
pants on their heads and just running around.
Yeah, but it's also not the classic. It's like, oh, everyone is suddenly has like spiky mohawks and has
Or
wears-
silver
and-
spacesuits.
and wears those glasses. That's just one line across the center.
Yeah,
That's how you know it's the future.
yeah. No, I think it was smartly done for what it was as a satire, and that's what it is. And it's a
Yeah.
very, very intelligent satire. I thought it was amusing while still getting its points across subtly. Not really, but
No.
subtly.
No.
But that's it. That's all of our books for this week. That's all of them. So a reminder to you guys, go out there and buy these books. Buy what you like. They are entirely embracing and counting on the fact that you will find something to your liking and support it, because that's how this is basically going to work. They're not doing a broadband targeting. It's not a let's market to everyone and just dilute it down to the lowest common denominator so that everyone likes something out of it. No, it's we're going full bore down this road. And if that's your avenue, jump on this ship, because we're going down this street. It's going to be awesome. So, if you don't support it, it's going to go away. That's frankly how it is. This is a dangerous path they're taking, and if you guys don't buy this stuff, it will disappear.
Yeah.
And we'll go to Batman.
It will all turn into
will all become Batman.
It will be the DCYou next.
Yes.
Squee. But just want to make sure you guys realize that you have to support this stuff, because if you don't, it will go away.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to say in regards to Prez.
What's that?
When I was at the comic shop, someone said if you liked Transmetropolitan, this is kind of a book that's right up your alley.
Okay.
I have no clue if that has I can't back that up, but apparently I know there's a lot of people who are fans of that, so this is apparently along the same alley.
Sure. Smart political satire. I can see that. At least the rough edges of it, at the very, very least.
Yeah.
So, next week we got more books though.
Okay.
It's our 4th week of the DCYou. We get Aquaman number 41 kicking off with his new duds. Batgirl number 41. You know what the worst thing about being a post-grad college student? When your parents come to visit.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. Oh, it's so annoying because dad's going to come pester Batgirl in his weep whoop robot suit, unaware that it's his daughter as well. So maybe that will actually come to light. Deathstroke number 7, Deathstroke with God swords off to kill the Greek pantheon. Do it, Deathstroke. Gotham by Midnight, number 6. You get to complain about how well detailed and how great the composition is on all the artwork again.
Look at the architecture on that building.
Grayson, number 9. Looking all spiffy in the 3-piece suit right up on front now. Yeah. Secret Agent Man. Looking awesome. Green Lantern, The Lost Army, number 1. Justice League 3001, number 1. I did happen to notice this. The new Batman Arkham Knight game is coming out. If you pre-order, I want to say it was from Best Buy, you get the Justice League 3001 costume of Batman.
Not 3000, because I see the Justice League 3000.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the Justice League 3000.
It's a PlayStation exclusive, according to the back of my issue of Prez.
Okay, yes. I just saw that. I was like, man, that's a deep dive for just throwing that in the game, but I thought it was kind of cute. Superman number 41, continuing that truth storyline. Teen Titans number 9. Manchester Black causing nothing but trouble. Just driving a wedge all the time. The Flash number 41, and last but not least, We Are Robin number 1. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. 1,000 points of light. Not gonna do it.
What?
Exactly.
My fellow Americans, I am kryptonite. No, I am bulletproof. Next time, y'all best bring kryptonite.
Are we predating you, Kelly? Old school Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When I would just have it on in the background college, she would just phase it out.
Fair enough.
I know that my dad would sing the Choppin' Broccoli song when, when my mom would be.
At least she knew who it was.
Yeah. When mom would be making broccoli salad, and I would just roll my eyes and just be like, ugh.
Yeah, but you roll your eyes a lot. Let's be fair.
I do.
Like, maybe it's just me, but like every time I talk to you, your eyes are just like on a spin cycle. You're just like, ugh. I'm assuming you do that to everyone, though, right? Not just me.
Yeah, me and disgust from Inside Out have a lot in common.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's weird. Who's doing the voice of that?
Mindy Kaling.
Okay.
Who played a character named Kelly in The Office.
Oh, there you go. It's full circle. It's all come around. But if you do want to contact us, if you want to ask us questions, if you want to send flowers to my funeral, you can do so at the following channels.
The internet?
The internet. Yeah, I mean, they give me a picture of a flower. You can find us. We're DCR Podcast everywhere. Again, my apologies, guys. I know this one was really rough, at least from my end. I'm struggling so hardcore here, and it's hard for Brian and Kelly to really play off of much when they're just looking at my just melting face and sagging shoulders.
The pile of Kleenex as Sean is just evacuating his lungs after every issue he does.
Brian's trying to tell stories, and my head's just slumped on the table here. And at one point he actually stopped and was just like, dude, I can't do this with you. Just dead right in front of me. And I'm like, sorry. So I know it was a rough episode, so apologies, everyone. Hopefully by next week I will be better. You get over the pneumonia in like a couple days, right?
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, sure.
Nanotherapy. That's what I'm going to go take right now, and then I'll be fine.
Healthcare reform.
But yes, we are DCR Podcast everywhere on the internet, or you can email us at feedback@dcrpodcast.com. Brian, what's your thing? I know you got something before we go.
We already kind of said it. Inside Out is amazing.
Okay.
It's excellent.
Okay, fair enough.
There's nothing else to say besides that.
Kelly, do you got anything before we take off this week?
I'm sorry.
Don't roll your eyes at me. Yeah.
I'm sorry if there's electrical interference from me, because I apparently am.
Oh, yes. Kelly is
emitting.
A cyborg.
Yes.
Bleep, blop, glorp.
I am. I'm a cyborg today.
She has back injuries, so she has a TENS unit. That's what she keeps telling us.
Mm-hmm.
We know better. We know it's actually her heart.
Quotation fingers, TENS unit.
So you might actually hear the buzzing noise through my mic. I'm so
Every time
sorry.
you roll your eyes, I hear. shit.
Someone's going into an epileptic seizure right now at home.
I'm just apologizing if it comes.
I have no idea. It's all subsonic, and it's just like weep, 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 weep.
Suddenly the brown noise comes across our podcast.
I'm just sorry.
Okay, well, before we destroy the world inadvertently, that's all we got for this week. So everyone, enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives. Mine's not very many more days, so enjoy it, and we will talk to you. Well, they will next week.
Yeah.